Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I am going to be doing my Best of Beauty 2017 video. Finally, I'm here to sit down to do this video. We are currently 10 days into the new year and I have been slacking already. But I have written down all of the products front and back that I had really been loving for 2017. But I wanted to do it a little bit different. Instead of just sitting here telling you guys all of the products, I wanted to show you guys some of the products on my face. And then that way you guys can kind of see how I use these products and that I actually do use these products and I'm not just telling you guys the products. And so while I'm doing my makeup, I also am going to be putting up pictures of the other products that I have on this list, as well as talking about some of these products as well. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So of course, starting off with a face primer. Some of the primers that I really loved were hard to kind of like choose between, because some of them I liked last year, the year before last. I sometimes just roll over products because it's just so easy to just stick with something you know works for you. So right now I am applying the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot Instant Perfecting Primer, and this primer I really fell in love with towards the middle of the year. I got this, I think, and I actually really like it. So using this and some other primers that I really like are the Benefit Porefessional primer. I have the little travel size of it. I started using this and it's bomb. I love the MAC Prep and Prime Radiance primer and also the Milani PrimeShield. That is also another really good primer that is drugstore. It's very affordable, comparable to high-end primers and everything. So I'm going to put a little bit of lip balm on because it's winter time and my lips have been so dry. This is my favorite lip balm this year. This is the Fiona Styles Luxe Nourishing Lip Balm. And this is just what it looks like. I don't know. Hopefully they still carry this because I am pretty much out of mine. So moving on to foundations. I tried out so many foundations this year. I feel like this was the year of foundations for me, but one that stood out amongst all of them and one that I continue to use. I took this on vacation with me. This is a Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-Hour Makeup. I'm in the shade 500 Suede W. This is just everything. It works in the winter time, the summertime. It works year round, and I really love this foundation. I haven't had any issues with it. It's not a complete matte foundation, so you probably won't get that if that's what you're looking for. It has a little bit of a radiant glow to it, but it's not that bad. It's definitely nothing that you can't make matte with some powder. So I really do love this foundation. Some other foundations that I've mentioned 10,000 times before probably are the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, the matte and poreless version. I love that foundation. It's definitely comparable to some higher end foundations, and best part about it is only like $6. So if you have not tried out that foundation yet, please try it out because there's really no reason that you shouldn't get it. And they also have a dewy and smooth version, so if you're dry, you can also still try it out and use the dewy and smooth version instead. So that's also really good. And another foundation that I really like is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. I found that one worked well for me in the summertime because it's very mattifying and you don't need a lot of it. So a little goes a long way. Literally what they say on the box, you only need like 5 or so drops, and that gives you a nice full coverage foundation. So that's good for the summertime since you may or may not want to apply a little bit more makeup in the summertime, so that's good. And also just continuing to use e.l.f. brushes. My e.l.f. brushes are bomb, but I do want to venture out and try some more brushes this year in 2018. That was one of my goals for 2018, was to try new brushes because I love my e.l.f. brushes, but I definitely want to try some other brands of brushes because I don't know, it's just, I want to get like more of a variety of different brushes instead of like some of the same brushes. Although they're really good brushes and I love them, some of them don't hold up as well. So moving on to concealers, this was the easiest list because concealers for me is just, I just thought about them really quickly. I was like, okay, I like this concealer, this concealer, this concealer, done. Like the concealer list was the easiest to come up with. So first and foremost, my favorite concealer of 2017 was the Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I did not believe the hype of this when it first came out. I was like, oh, you know, it can't be that good. I don't really see, you know, people that look like me talking about it, so it's probably not that good. Y'all, this is bomb. I'm in the shade Deep. I probably could stand to go maybe one shade deeper. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I love this concealer. Like, bomb. And a little goes a long way. Like, it has a really big applicator. But this is, I bought this, I don't even know when I bought it, but it had to have been towards the earlier part of last year. And I'm still on the same tube. Now, I have been kind of rotating out with the Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer. That one is really good as well. I would say they both give the same coverage. It's just that the Tarte Shape Tape is thicker. The Kat Von D is like a little bit thinner, but I would say they both give like really nice full coverage. But I just reached for the Tarte Shape Tape a lot more in 2017. Just very nice concealer. My other concealer, I've mentioned this a lot before as well, was the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. That concealer is hands down a really good concealer as well. It's very lightweight, so if you're someone who might not like the tattoo concealer or the Shape Tape, then you will love that concealer because it gives you enough coverage, like pretty full coverage, but it's lightweight, so it's not like super duper thick. You don't have to blend out a whole lot. So for brows, I literally only had one brow pencil, and it's the one that I'm using. This is the Milani Easy Brow, and it is water resistant, and it's in the shade dark brown. I didn't think after the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer or whatever it's called, I didn't think I would be able to find another drugstore brow pencil that I would fall in love with, but started using this one. And at first, I didn't like it because the color that I had was a little too dark. And so I was like, I don't really like this color. But I kept using it anyways because I definitely was not going to waste my money. And then it just grew on me. Like, it's really easy to apply. And it's just, like, it's really pigmented. Like, you don't need a whole lot because it will get a little dark on you pretty fast. Other than the thing like going down really fast, like this, the pencil part wears out really fast. Like, I don't know if I just use it too much or what, but it goes out kind of quick. So I would say it probably lasts about a month or so. And to me, that's kind of not that long for something that you don't have to use a lot of product. Like, I could see if it's like a lip product or something. Brow pencils, you don't have to use a lot, so not sure why they run out so fast. So other than that, I really love this brow pencil. It's definitely pretty much the only one I used this year. So I let my concealer sit a little bit on its own before I slap powder on it. I don't know, I just kind of like my skin warming it up a little bit. And I know that's like not what you're supposed to do at all. So setting powders was definitely something that I wanted to explore this year. I am not one for heavy baking. Like, you guys come on my channel and you know that I don't really do a lot of heavy baking or, you know, applying a whole lot of powder to my face. So this year though, I went out and I tried the infamous Laura Mercier setting powder. This is what I'm using currently on my face, and I must say it is everything and more So I'm gonna bake a little bit more today just because I want it to be a pretty full coverage look. And I'm gonna do a little bit of like cutting in this cheekbone area right here, even though I haven't contoured. I'm kind of just accentuating my natural contour here. As you can see, that's all natural contour. So I'm just gonna accentuate that. So yeah, I wasn't big into setting powders, but ran across this one. And you guys, this is the travel size. And I bought this probably like at least 4 or 5 months ago, and it's still really like a lot. So if you guys want to try this but you don't want to spend, I don't know, I think it's like $30 or $40 for the full size. I think this is still $20, somewhere like around there, but you are going to be able to use this for a while. So you can still spend like half the amount of money and still use this for a while. Definitely try this out because you don't use a lot of powder. Try this out in the travel size and you'll thank me. I wish they had the darker version in the travel size, because I know she came out with a darker shade. I wish they had that one in the travel size because I feel like that one would work a little bit better for my skin tone, but it's all good. That one works as well. I also really like this next powder that I'm about to use. This is the CoverFX Pressed Mineral Foundation Powder, and this is in the shade N100. And I'm just going to go over the bottom part down here, and because I don't want it to be kind of casty, so I'm going to just go over that, the bottom. And this adds quite a bit of coverage. However, it will get cakey. So I loved this during the summer because I would just put this on my face after I applied my makeup, and it would kind of keep everything intact. And it was decent, a very nice, decent powder. I also applied this for days when I just wasn't going to be doing a whole lot. Didn't want a lot of coverage on my face. I'd just go in and just put this on all over my face, and that would be that. So I'm gonna just take the brush now with no extra product on it and just dust away the Laura Mercier powder. And I like to really dust. I know sometimes I see people just do like one dust and then it's all gone, and I'm just like, okay, I need to do more dusting away than that. And then the other powder that I started back using this year was the L'Oreal True Match powder. That powder technically has been the powder that I've been using for the past couple of weeks. Haven't even been really touching the powders that I'm using right now, but pretty much since the end of the year into the new year, I've been using that L'Oreal True Match powder. And that powder has been my go-to lately, so that is a good drugstore alternative to the CoverFX powder. And also, if you don't have a setting powder, a loose setting powder at the drugstore, I know that's sometimes hard to find, then you can also try that and set your concealer with as well, because it'll work just the same. You can also try getting a lighter shade and using it as a setting powder, but be careful with that. You don't want to get too much flashback, so be careful with that one. For bronzers, I pretty much stuck to the same thing that I pretty much used in 2016. I'm about to say 2018. I stuck with my CoverGirl Ebony bronzer. I think I've been using this for a while now, at least probably since the end of 2016, and this is the same one. This is the original one that I bought, and you guys can see that I don't bronze a whole lot, so I don't even use it. A little of this goes a long way, because if you use too much of this on my skin tone, it kind of makes me red, so I don't want to add too much. And then the other bronzer, I guess bronzing highlighting palette that I loved was the Black Radiance True Complexion palettes. Those palettes are really good as well from the drugstore, and you kind of have like an all-in-one palette. You got a highlighter, a nice setting powder, and a nice bronzer. So those palettes are really good as well. So for eyeshadow primers, I didn't really venture out too much. I know in past years I really liked the Urban Decay Shadow Potion, and I kind of sidelined that for my MAC paint pot. Definite go-to if I'm doing like heavy looks or anything with glitter that I really want to stand out, the MAC Paint Pot is a definite go-to. Just because I have dark eyelids and they're very oily as well, so that kind of just puts like a barrier between the shadow and my eyelids, so that way the shadow doesn't move around a lot, and it also shows off on my dark eyelids a lot better. The one that I'm using right now is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. So I love using this for pretty much minimal looks that I'm not trying to do the most with. So eyeshadow palettes, I tried out quite a bit of eyeshadow palettes this year. 2017 was the year of blogger collaborations, and all of them that I tried out were fantastic. So I loved them all, but in the end I only had one that I really like loved because it was just an all-around great palette, and I'm using it today, and that was the Jaclyn Hill palette. Love you, Jaclyn. So this was a great palette. The only thing that I wish this palette had was a mirror. It's the only thing. Like a great big mirror would have done amazing, but this palette is bomb, you guys. Like, I love just all the different shadows. Like I see it sitting on my vanity like every day. It sits like to the side over here, back behind me, and I'm like, oh, I really want to use it today. I have to find, I make excuses to use this palette because it's just that great. So love it. I think she did an awesome job. So I'm gonna just go in. I'm just gonna create like a very simple look. I'm not really gonna be too detailed about the look. The palette that I did get was from Ulta. When it came to Ulta, it had the shades written on the back, which was a very nice touch. So I'm just gonna go in. I'm not really gonna name any shades. I'm kind of gonna probably speed through this part as well. I will talk about another palette that I loved from 2016 though, and into 2017. It was just my go-to palette for both years, and that's the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I know she came out with a couple of different palettes this past year, the Subculture, the Prism palette, but I just feel like, and I saw other people saying it too, that the Modern Renaissance palette was the best. I saw reviews and I swatched the Subculture palette at the store, and I was really close to getting the Prism palette when it first launched. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this up because I know it's gonna be bomb, but I didn't get it, and I'm like, don't really regret getting it either. Like, because I have my Modern Renaissance palette and I just know that it's everything I need. So I love it. A lot of other people love it. It's a bomb palette. If you had to choose, like if I had to choose out of all three, Modern Renaissance, and if you had to choose, or if you are asking or wondering if you should get one of the three palettes, I definitely recommend getting the Modern Renaissance palette. The other eyeshadow palette that I really did like was the Kokie eyeshadows. Those surprised me. Like, it's really hard to find a good drugstore eyeshadow palette sometimes, and I have a first impressions video coming up with another one that I found that surprised me as well. The Kokie one was actually really nice, and I actually reached for that quite a bit after I did the review, and I was like, okay, this is really, and I said in the review, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it below, but I said that it was very comparable to the MAC eyeshadows, and it is. Like, I really can't even tell a difference, honestly, you guys. So I am in love with that palette as well, and I still reach for it from time to time when I have time to do my eyeshadow, which is like very little time these days. So those are pretty much my top three eyeshadow palettes. So many came out this past year, but those are the ones that I reach for the most. Like, if I'm being completely honest, there was others that I really loved, but I'm just being honest, I didn't really reach for those, just because I know, like, I know in the Jaclyn Hill palette, I know it has an all around color base for me, so I can just reach for it and have everything that I need without having to use another palette on top of it. So I'm thinking no eyeliner today. So this year was probably the first year, or this past year was probably the first year that I really did not use a lot of liquid eyeliner. Like, I was ride or die for liquid liner, and this year it was just not happening for me. So I was just a eyeshadow and lashes or mascara person this year, or this past year. So for mascaras, I really love the one that I'm applying right now, which is the Lancome Monsieur Big mascara. You guys, I love it so much that I just bought the other, like, I bought another sample size of it, because I don't even know if I can commit to buying the full size because I'm cheap. But I want to zoom you guys in. I think I'm going to just focus you guys. Can you guys see that? Like, I just applied this eye right here. And then look at my other eye. Like, you can't even see my lashes on the other eye. This is just with this. So this is why I love this mascara. And this is just after the first coat. Like, it's bomb. It's Monsieur Big, which is Mr. Big in French. And it is. It makes your lashes really big. Like, it beat out my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara, and I love that mascara, but this is 5 times better, unfortunately. So I'm gonna do my lower lash line really quick and then come back. So that is what my eyes look like. As you can see, they're like completely transformed from before. Love that mascara. I only have one written down for mascara, and literally is that one. That's the only one. Even when it dried out, it was still bomb. So moving on now to highlighters. I loved a lot of highlighters that came out this year, or this past year. I keep saying this past year, but there was only one that I loved the most. It's super duper icky, so excuse it, but it's the Anastasia Nicole Guerriero palette, and I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Everything that I love about this highlighter is just that it's amazing. To sum it up in one word, it's amazing, or 2 words, it's amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it, if I can find my highlighting brush. So I did have another go-to highlighter, and that was the, I'm using 143, by the way, to give like a bam in your face highlight. The other highlighter that I really did love was the Milani Illuminating Shimmer Brick thing. I loved it. Look at that though. Look at that. Like, bomb. Went up a little bit too high right here, but bomb. Like, still so bomb. I love that one as well, just because it's so convenient and easy to like throw in my purse or whatever if I want to add a little highlight after I get to work, or just for travel purposes as well. That one's really small and convenient, and it has the like 3 or 4 shadows all together. You never do have to stick with one highlighting shadow, but it's nice to just like swipe your brush across that and be able to just get all 3. So now that I'm all highlighted, I am going to be going in with my lips color, and this is the NYX Lip Lingerie in Teddy. You guys know that I've been on these lip lingeries for a minute now, and I still been on them. I'm not super duper huge into lips, and you guys probably noticed that by watching my channel. So I don't have a lot of lip products to talk about. A couple of other lip products that I loved this past year were the Anastasia lip gloss and Fudge. That one was really nice. It gave like a nice brown lip gloss on top of any color that I wanted to apply. It was like a nice brown topper, so it was like a nice nude gloss topper for me and for my skin complexion. So that one was really nice. And then I also like the NYX butter glosses. Those are bomb. Like I always have like 1 or 2 on hand in my purse all the time because I just have to have them. Like they hydrate my lips and they give a little bit of color. So those are bomb as well. And I also love that Fiona Styles lip balm because I can put pretty much any liquid lip on top of it and it just leaves my lips underneath it very nourishing, and it helps with chappedness throughout the day, and that way it's like not so dry and chapped as if I were to just apply the liquid lip onto my bare lips without exfoliating, without putting on a balm first. So I like applying that balm as well. Oh, and last but not least are setting sprays. And I don't usually use setting sprays a lot of my videos. I usually just kind of cut that part out, especially if I'm going to be wearing the makeup out. I usually just kind of set my makeup off camera, or I do it on a daily basis, but I don't film it. The one spray, primer, whatever you want to call it, that I loved for 2017 was the Smashbox Primer Water. And that stuff is good. I'm going to get the full size of that just because it's so good for setting my face like as a primer, and then also turning around and using it as a setting spray. It literally locks in everything. Like I don't even have to worry about touching up anything. Like it minimizes the oils, like everything. So I love that setting spray. That was my most favorite one that I used this past year. And I definitely want to repurchase, like I said, in the full size. So that brings this video to a close. I covered all of the products that I had written down. Also, I want to announce the giveaway winner from my last video. Thank you guys for everyone who entered and subscribed to my channel. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I hope you stick around for a little while longer and enjoy the content that I'm going to be bringing to you in 2018. But the giveaway winner is Miss Flaming Flamer. I have contacted her. Congratulations to Miss Flaming Flamer. Feel free to email me any questions that you have. Leave any comments down below, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on any more giveaways or any more content that I will have for you coming up very soon. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up so I know you did, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.